It's started raining again. This should take us all the way into Newcastle without all the industrial plants are there. You can see them. I used to come down here and cycle in the summertime with my kids. I'm just going to let this run for however long it takes to get to the edge, unless there's some reason I have to switch it off. Looks like a small detour, but I've got to come away from the river again. Well, not completely away. It's a small left-hand turn, basically. There we go. And a bit further up there again, there's a right-hand turn, takes us back down to the walk. Oh, there was a rat. Hadrian Way, city centre, down that way. Yeah. Newburn's the way we came. We're going to Tyne bridges. Step back so you can see it. I'm trying not to fall in the wee steps here. The origins of the use of hydraulic power go back as far as the 17th century. That's amazing. Even I didn't know that. Right, now we continue on down that way, back to the river again. They should make the walk go all the way along there. They should. I mean, if they go to the, what they can actually, I suppose, they can nick a bit of land, can't they? Just make the walk continue all the way through. Somebody stole a seat from there, by the looks of it. We should get some colours. I mean, I'd like to sit down and have a cup of coffee now. It'd be nice if there was any covered seats you can go into. I suppose if we'd done that, they'd probably end up having alcoholics in them, and the tramps. Even Newcastle City has people that are homeless. Which is not very good for a modern city. Although I don't think we've got the same homeless villages that some places do. And there's another rule. Pedestrians have priority over cyclists. But and if so, you know, danger of drowning. Again, another obvious sign. And the people who can't read it don't know about drowning, I suppose. I mean, even in your bath you can drown, I suppose. Okay, we're still going along this way. There's also maybe, I should put up a new sign, danger of dropping your phone over the edge and losing it. Not even there, Tyne, look at Tyne in there. I wonder about which boat lost its tyre. Oh, you're going to turn around and say to me, boats don't use tyres. Yes, they do. If you look at the boats, not ships, but boats, they use tyres on the edge where they dry up to the dock in case they accidentally hit the dock. Safety for the bow. Very quiet car park, isn't it? This must belong to some of the businesses up the top. Maybe they shut down now. You never know. I remember watching a programme when I was a kid on TV, Tales of the Riverbank, about a hamster called Hammy. I'm sure it was a hamster, but why would a hamster be living by the riverbank? I mean, they're domesticated pets, aren't they? Like it says, the tide's out because it's This runs all the way to the sea, so the tide come back in, the water levels come all the way up. There's not many cyclists, and in summer this road, or this path, is actually very, very busy with cyclists and pedestrians. I've been along here a few times on the bike with a wife and daughter. Oh, daughter, that's the one that's still at house. The rest of my family have left home roughly 20 years ago. Again, the river's now been obscured by the trees, so I wonder what this is. Waste bins. And there's a warning, CCTV in operation. We're at another industrial wee park. Although I do like the structures over there. But I'm not going to walk up them. I'm sure there's one cyclist. Okay. I don't see any. Oh, there's a notice there. Might tell us what these things are. Just pause it if you want to read it. There's nothing that I can see that relates to that stuff over there. We'll continue on this way. I know I'm just rambling on about things that take my head, go into my head. If I remember, like, there's a couple of wee statues, or wee monuments along that way before you get into the city centre. I wonder how old these are. These trees or bushes or what? They'd actually stop the bank from sinking into the water. In case you're wondering why they've got trees at the side of the building, trees at the side of the bank. That's to stop subsidence. Get them on the side of motorways as well, on the banks on the side of motorways. It's to stop subsidence, so that doesn't the banks at the side of the road do not fall into the road and cause obstruction. Well, that's the same reason have these trees growing, or these shrubs. Don't know what they're called. Growing at the side. Doesn't mean things don't collapse into the water, but it helps prevent it. Oh dear me. And here's something. I wonder how slippy that is going to be to walk on. The trouble with these things, they can be, even when there's no snow or ice on them, they can be slippy to walk on. But these are actually quite good. I like the marbling in that stone there. I'm a very strange person. Yeah, even the marbling in that one. It probably took lots of years of that marbling to go onto these stones. Let's see what the sign says about it. River Tyne at Elsick. Just pause and read what you want to read. And to continue. On that way. It's not raining anymore. Second cyclist and two pedestrians. Yay! So it is a walkway and cyclist space. And that's why you hear the guy think his bell. That's why the bells are there, to let pedestrians know. The same way indicators on cars. People don't realise they're driving cars. The indicators help the pedestrian know which way they're going. And third bike, hey, must be getting dry now. Time for people to go to work. Yeah, indicators, when cars approach the turn, they don't indicate but they still turn into the road, that gives people, gets them angry, because sometimes you see the cars coming down, especially at a T-junction, and they're not indicating, and so you step out thinking it's safe, but suddenly the car comes round the corner or the van comes round the corner and they've done it without indicating. Like, the indicators are there to let pedestrians know as well which way the vehicles are going. So they have to indicate. The law is you've got to indicate whenever you're turning in somewhere or turning out somewhere. You indicate. You don't just do it haphazardly. You don't just do it when you feel like it. It's there for a reason. Cars are not the only hazard on the road or on the pavements or crossing the roads. So remember, indicate when you're turning corners. Helps pedestrians, and helps people, helps cars. Ah. Morning.
Morning.
Probably gets busy up there on the weekend. And going back. Oh. And another one. I did hear her bell there, but she was behind me, so she has to watch out she doesn't hit me. Back to the river. The river is more interesting when the tide is in. I know. But that's what bells are for anyway. So you can hear the bikes approach. The bells are not telling you to move out the way, they're just telling you there's a bicycle coming and will pass you. So just watch what you're doing. You think they could have taken more time to make it more interesting graffiti. But no. Again, if there was only a cover there, I'd have a cup of coffee. But there's nowhere to sit this dry. There's nowhere under cover. Leads nowhere. Leads nowhere. Oh, there's a crow. And there's the crow going. That's about the most interesting thing that's happened on this walk. And more graffiti. And another. And once again, Leopard House, lookers. Lookers. I'm a looker. I'm looking at the road, the motorway. And see, that's how mixed up I get. I'm on the riverside and I'm looking at a motorway. Sorry, old man. Even here, look. Hi, crow. That's at the crow before. I know, it says Newcastle Buzz Park. That's Business Park. Newcastle Business Park. And there's another one. Yeah, yeah, you definitely heard the bell that time, didn't you? Yeah. Well, that's why they have bells. To allow people to come out without bells on, to warn pedestrians. Well, so see, look at this. More garbage. cans, crisps. I know they're not necessarily people throwing things. That could just be the wind blowing them. Yeah, there's a bobby. And there we go. Another notice. Let's see. This one says yeah, used to be lots of employment. When the rivers were used. They're still used occasionally now, but not all the time. At least these steps go somewhere. And I have no intention of going down. There's another one, another boy, kind of boy, B-O-U-Y, yeah. Kind of been dismantled, the rope. And I can see it's raining again because my glasses are getting wet. Hey, there's a business, or there's the Riverview Business Centre. That makes sense. But it is nice here when the weather's nice and when the river is in. I mean, that's totally mud just now. Nothing I can do with tides out. The tides have cycled past here. I know I had a chance to have a look this way. There's numerous. Don't know what that's supposed to be. See me one up there. That looks like maybe a hive. There's no signs or nothing that I can see to say what it represents. Ah, there's a sign down there. Maybe that will tell us. I mean, alright, so it's nice to walk beside the river. Even the river isn't in. It's not really much to see at the side of the river. And you can't actually walk all the way because all the industrial premises at the river's edge that used to spew their toxic waste into the river, or chemical waste. Maybe not toxic, but I suppose it is toxic, even if it's chemical, so yeah. And you see why it's called Armstrong's Work at the beginning there, because it's about Lord Armstrong which I can even make that out for here. William George Armstrong, son of Alderman William Armstrong, corn merchant, was born November 26, 1810. That's all I'm going to read it. And we go down this way. Oh, I'm feeling a bit heavy now. That's because, in case you think I'm just strolling along, I've got 1k weights on my feet, half k on each foot, and a 2k weight in my bag, along with my flask and fruit and all that. So I know I'm just strolling along. It's part of my exercise routine. And this video is now half an hour long. And look, there's some more bicycles. There's some more wooden cardboard. See, nobody will remember things. Concrete structures. Maybe that sign there. The guys reading will tell us what they are. And some joggers. More garbage in the water. Difficult to read with the graffiti on it. There's that one there, fantastic fact. It says the Dunstan Straith is believed to be the largest timber structure in Europe, over half a kilometre long. Is that thing they're talking about there? Robbery. Okay. I suppose when it tides in, you don't see all this garbage down here. We're almost at the city centre anyway. Another one of those concrete structures. No explanation again. And we've got to go this way. I think we'll have to wait till I get back to the car for a cup of coffee. Adrian's Way again. And more of those structures. Maybe this sign here will tell us what they are. Would day we could read it, but look at the graffiti on it. It's up to you to decide it, not me. But nothing to say what these structures are. Okay, we continue on this way. Okay. Seems the sewer down there. He didn't toot his horn, but again he's coming towards me and I've seen him. He's not coming up behind you, so he doesn't need to toot his horn. Same way when you're walking on a country road, you're supposed to walk facing the traffic so you can see the traffic coming. Not walk away from the traffic or walk in the direction of the traffic. I'm pretty sure that's the way it is anyway. I think we're almost at the city centre. It's up round that bend. You should be able to see the Tyne Bridge and the Swing Bridge and every other bridge. But after that I'm just going to head up towards the car. I don't know why I'm doing that, but sometimes the things can be interesting as well. Just so you know why I do this, I'm 65, I've had a new knee, I'm not allowed to run until next year, April next year, and that'll be my knee will be a year old. But never said I can't do walking to keep fit, and I don't like being this large. I've always been a large boy, but I was always fit working. Then I had to get a new knee this year in April. The fact I was on the walking stick before that, just trying to get along. Then I had the operation. Then I was on crutches for 2 weeks. Then I was back on the walking stick for 2 weeks. And then ever since then I've not needed walking stick or crutches. So I'm better than some people, worse than others. It takes exercise to recover for these knee replacements and hip replacements. You can't sit about doing bugger all. you've got to get up and do something. And since basically my pension was to pay me when I retired at 65, then I got a letter from the council, or from the government, saying I couldn't retire to 68. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, that letter. And what the hell? I mean, everything was working for me to retire at 65. I'm 65 now. So I got my private pension, but I don't get my government pension. Although I think it's changed again. So I think I get my government pension when I'm 66 and a half. So it'll be summer next year. And hopefully I've got a long life after that doing things. And don't forget, if you feel out my voice and you want to do something with this walk, then just mute the voice and record the scenery. Morning. There was a time when you could walk on there, but you can see it's elaborated even more. We're almost at the end of this fencing. We just walked off the pier, or the harbour, or whatever you want to call it, the docks. traffic cones in the water as well. And as you can see, it's been raining again. You can see the droplets in the water down there. They went door yeah, we're almost back to the city centre. Where I normally walk. And taking the views around them, round here, round there. Looks like you can go down that way. But guess what? I'm not going to go down that way. The first jogger. Power to the jogger. Right, I think just past that we should be able to see a Tyne Bridge, and that's, well, before we get to Tyne Bridge that's where I'll end. Then I'll head up towards where the car will be for me. And that'll be the end of the walk. You can see it starting to come into view around the corner there. And got, I think that's the Red Shoe Bridge, the one closest. Then you've got the train bridge. That might not be Red Shoe Bridge, I don't know. I really don't know the name of these bridges. Maybe I should do what other people do and study these things, but even though I studied them I couldn't remember the things. The information doesn't stay in my head these days. I'm lucky I can remember my name. Might see how many bridges across the river. Oh, looks like it's two railway bridges. There's a blue one in the background. It's just a train going over it. Now you got that one.
I'm just thinking, did we working on it?
You're doing a bit yourself. More tyres. And nothing you can actually read on that. There's no way you can read that. I did say the Western Bridge at the top, that's about all I can see. You think maybe once a year they come out and they place all these wee notices. Maybe the beginning of every spring or the end of winter, they come out and put a new notice on top of them all, saying what they are. Look at that, keeping a couple of bikes in the mud. Once again, when the tide's in, you wouldn't even see them. That's not the point. The tide is not always in. And more traffic cones. And there's somebody's winning lottery ticket. Is that like one of those things you stand on with wheels in it? I can't remember what they're called. A hover skateboard. Hover skate. Been thrown in the water. There's another jogger. It's the second jogger. I know there was one coming back, but that doesn't count because she was the same one. She ran up, she was running down. Okay. I'm going to see she's 60, I'm going to switch it off. It's not for a walk. I can head up to the left. Head up to where the car's even that shopping trolley. Not very interesting, but this goes to show you can see when the tide's out. Okay, that's almost our walking along this river Tyne. Not the full complete river, but that's basically it. Even wicker chair. Look, I think somebody come along and clean them up. They probably will do it in about springtime. But I'm going to switch this off here because I'm going to head up away from the river, head back to the car. See you later.